Hello. Welcome to the welcome to the stream. Today this is my first stream. I've not streamed before this. We're going to talk about the situation with Andrew Tate. Now whilst I'm talking, I'm going to eat. So if you hear something in the background, that's just me eating. You know, it's Friday. It's a good day. Good times. And we keep on moving forward. But someone who's not moving forward, someone who's stuck, someone who has been captured, someone who has to bend to the rules of society for now is Mr. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. Two phenomenal people. And the reason I say that is because I have no ill will against them. One thing in life that many don't understand is you have to control your emotions at all costs. And when I say that, I truly mean it. You know, I was at school and this girl in my class, we were talking about a guy called Rasmus Paladin. You can search him up. He is a guy from Denmark who's come to Sweden, who speaks about Islam. And he burns, I believe he has burned the Quran multiple times at public speeching events, public events. And in Sweden, we have a lot of Muslims, a lot of people who are devoted to the Islamic faith. And such as that, because of that reason, he could not advocate his speeches in Denmark because he wasn't allowed. So he came to Sweden instead because the laws protect him. It's free speech. So he burns the Quran here. He talks of Islam in a negative way. But since it is his opinion, his freedom of speech, no one can say anything about it. So he gets away with it. Now, the point of this is the woman in my class, the girl. We were talking about this as a subject. And immediately she says, I would kill that guy. She says, I would kill that guy. You'd kill someone of their opinions. Someone has affected you with words so profoundly that you wish death upon them. Now, I don't support anything this guy says. I stand against it all. I do not believe burning the Quran or talking badly of the Islamic faith is the way to go with it. If he expressed his opinions about Islamic faith without doing those extreme actions he does to prove a point, I could relate to him a little more. Not because of his views, but because he was not going so far. Now, the reason I took this up as a point is because Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, the Tate brothers, when they talk, they are in jail right now. They were put there because of their speech. They were put in jail. What was their crime? Apparently, now I say this, apparently, it was because of sex trafficking and rape. However, no proof has come out about these allegations. In fact, two of the women accused, who apparently accused him or are victims, have come out and said that they want to be removed, as they do not see themselves as victims because nothing happened to them. That means that they did not rape them. And most likely as well means there was no sex trafficking. Now, multiple times the court in Romania, the people in charge, have come out and said, we are working on proof against them. Meaning, they don't have any proof as of this moment. So why are they locked up? I'll tell you the reason. They're locked up because they spoke their opinion. They spoke their opinion. The high level people behind the world did not like this. They locked them up. They sent Romania after them as their lapdogs and got them arrested. Is this right? Is this correct? Is this following human rights? Is this morally correct? Now, many think it is. I mean, people want the allegations to be true, meaning these awful things happened to people. Rape, sex trafficking. And apparently, they've come out with new charges that they have done money laundering. Now, I cannot speak on this because I have no clue. However, since both of the other two actions have been proven, or the other two allegations have been proven wrong, they are not correct. The likeliness that this third one is false as well is that much higher. Do I think they did money laundering? No. Do I think they were sex traffickers? No. And there's proof now. Do I think they raped women? No. Now let's put out the facts there. All right. If they truly did these things, would that not mean that they wouldn't have any women around them? If they had to go so far down to rape women, to sexually abuse females, how come they have dozens of women around them 24 hours a day? You can look it up. Look at all of their videos. Look at all of their IRL, in real life videos, clips. There's always at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 women around them. Now, they could be escorts, but I'd probably say they are true. Because at the same time, how many women have come out defending Andrew Tate? His ex has come out in 4 videos now stating he did not hit her. His other woman has come out 3 times now, said that Romania refuses to take her out as a victim. And then a 3rd girl, the same. And a 4th girl on Romanian TV, on a news channel, talking about the arrest, saying it's completely false. And guess what? She was one of the victims as well. 3 victims have come out, said that this is all false. I'm not saying witnesses. I'm saying victims. The people who apparently were affected by this come out, say it's all completely false. That is embarrassing. You're running a court case and your victims defend the accused. What? That does not even make sense. It's a setup. It's a setup, and you can see it in every single metric. Now, regarding the voicemail or the voicemails people have sent out, publicized that Andrew Tate sent all these misogynistic voicemails. That could be true. It could be him. However, it does sound a little weird. Doesn't completely sound like him. And another thing, there was a guy on YouTube came out with a video writing down words into an AI who spoke words. It sounded just like it. It sounded exactly like that voice message. So that voice message is most likely false as well. How much have we covered now? A lot. 5, 6, 7 points. Something like that. Every single one proven wrong. There's nothing more to say. Now, there's all of these articles. We look through. The Guardian. Inside the violent misogynistic world of TikTok's new star, Andrew Tate. This is why the influencer Andrew Tate is so successful. Sandra Stiscalo. vile. I'm translating this from Swedish, by the way. Vile assault Andrew Tate documentary. I'm presuming they're talking about the Vice documentary. Now, the Vice documentary, if you believe that, you are an imbecile. If you see a documentary with that many edits, and I'm not talking about viewpoints, camera, I'm talking about audio. You hear in the audio how much they cut. If you believe that, you're asinine. Who is Andrew Tate? By BBC News. One of England's most biggest news broadcasters. Who is Andrew Tate? The self-proclaimed misogynist influencer. Now, I don't know when he was self-proclaimed. I've never heard him call himself a misogynist. I've heard him say it in terms of a joke, but never normally. Andrew Tate, detained in Romania over rape and blah blah blah. Like, I haven't seen a single one in support of Andrew Tate. Now, sorry. Now, if we think about this, we're only going over one viewpoint, one side of the story. Everyone is just focusing on the negative. All his allegations, and even before he was arrested, everyone was going after him negatively. No one was looking at the facts with logic and rationale. They were simply going after him. It's despicable. The only place I've seen people root for Andrew Tate is on YouTube. But my feed only corresponds to what I like to see. And since I support him, I only see things that support him. So, my point is, most likely there are more videos on YouTube against him than for him. So, there's not really anything where people are supporting him. Like, it's a minority. And most of the people that are supporting him are men. Of course, women are. Such as Layla Halpern, the women who came out for Andrew Tate, his exes, and the victims themselves. So it's a minority, for sure, but it's a strong minority. And I've even seen parades out in Romania supporting Andrew Tate. Free Top G. That's what they say. And I'm 100% in support of him. The allegations could be true, but he's innocent until proven wrong. Until proven guilty. So, let's go over why I like him. And if you do not like him, then I'd like you to see my side of the story so that you can understand why I support him and why you could potentially start learning from him, from his old clips. Not just watching what becomes viral because of its entertainment level, but the things that are informational and give you a lot of value. So I believe 2 years ago is when I discovered him. He was at his peak, pinnacle. He was starting to become viral. Now, as many others, I found him quite entertaining. That's why I started following him on social media. And the more I watched him, because in high school, or as it is in Sweden, I believe it would be called middle school in USA, but in middle school or high school, whatever, I had a rough time, a really rough time. I was insecure about myself. I was sad. I was depressed. Many times thought about my life and said it was just shit. Had a negative outlook on everything. And then suddenly, this guy comes out of nowhere. Talks about his Bugatti. Talks about how much money he has. Talks about that he's the top G. And I instantly wonder, who the hell is this guy? And why is he bragging so much? And the more I look into it, pardon me, the more I looked into it, the more I fell in love with his message. Become rich, free yourself. Free yourself from the Matrix. The Matrix is basically the system that's holding people within governmental control, where they are forced to work without knowing it. And whilst they think they're earning money and getting richer and richer and getting more money and money, in reality, they're simply getting a sum and giving away the rest. To what? The government. Through taxes. For other things. And his message was to break free from that control. Start earning real money. Start going up and not straightforward. And I really believe that's how you should live. You should try to reach the pinnacle. And we've lived in this system for so long that the last 2 generations have been completely indoctrinated into this belief. So I started following him. I wanted to learn how to reach the money he had. Started learning about girls. Something I had big issues with. And over time, I became more confident. More self-esteem. I started boxing. I started doing things that mattered. I started planning out my days. Started doing things that improved my life instead of things that held me entertained and distracted. Such as games, hanging out with friends, and other things that did not matter. So, over time, I became who I am today, where I can spread the knowledge I've gathered through 2 years of hard work. And the only reason I'm here, the only reason I've gotten so far, is because of Tate. It's because of Andrew Tate. It's because of Tristan Tate. It's because of Jay Waller. It's because of Hamza. Partially Sneeko. Not much, but partially. All of these inspirational figures helped me through the path. But the one who started it all, the one who's impacted, who's had an impact on me, which stayed with me the whole way, was Andrew Tate. If he was only that, the bragging, jock, billionaire guy who flexed on everyone, drove around in his Bugatti, if that was all he was, I wouldn't be following him. And I would not be the person I am today. I would be a loser. I would be a incel. And because he's not, I am here today. I am better than I could ever be. I'm going on a path where in the next 10 years, I'm going to become, pound for pound, the greatest boxer of all time. Thanks to Andrew and Tristan Tate. So, that's why I support them. Not because they are funny, but because they shared knowledge with me that helped me get out of a depressing life, get out of a mediocre life. Cut ties with all my friends, and a lot other things. People always talk of the negative side of him, but no one talks about the impact he's had on so many men. Every time, for example, Hustlers University was brought up, all people would say was it was a pyramid scheme. I joined it. Unfortunately, I could not stay because things got in the way outside. So I had to leave. But the people inside of there, the messages they show, the information I learned there, all of that, if I would use it right now, I could make $100 tomorrow with that information alone. Now, I chose to have a YouTube channel instead to upload and help young men, because I realized that other young men might be like me, need help to get out of a get out of a stressful, depressing, sad life. So I chose this instead. But my point is, people talked about it being a pyramid scheme when they could have said there are 60,000 people inside of here staying inside, paying those $49 a month and earning 10 times, 20 times, 100 times that amount. No one talked about that. Everyone was convinced that he was using this to manipulate people, take their money. And in a sense, he did take your money, but he gave you that much more back. It was a transaction. And it's the first ever school system where the educators earn money and the educated do as well. It's both sided. It's like a company. The boss earns money and the employees earn money as well. However, maxed up or brought up to the maximum scale of things. People were earning like 20,000 a month, some. And there's not a lot of people who work 9 to 5 that can do that. So people just decide to speak negatively about him. For that reason, they don't like what he says. They don't like it because they are not that. They have too big egos to understand that you can learn something from him. People such as Hasanabi, Ethan Klein, CoffeeZilla, all of these people that have gone out, pardon me, have gone out of their way to talk about him. And it's sad. It truly is. People are sitting watching these YouTubers who are mainstream. Consuming their content just to be misled and zapped of their time. Because whilst they disapprove, post videos negatively about people such as Andrew Tate, they take away that opportunity for their fans to get approval that these guys are good. Now I'm fortunate because I found out about him before all the controversy happened. Because I had people in the mainstream world who I looked up to, who I wanted to be like, who I watched. Guess what? Not a single person on that list do I watch today. Because they're all phonies. They're all journeymen. They are all fake and they are all trying to earn money off of you. Now everyone criticizes Andrew Tate for this. At least he gives back money. At least he grants you the touch, the golden touch. At least he does that. Now I'm gonna call out these people. The main person I used to watch was KSI. I watched him. Loved his content. But why did I love it? It was entertaining. Nothing more, nothing less. Entertaining. Now, Andrew Tate was even more entertaining. But not just that, he taught me things, valuable things. So when they come, when they start butting heads, it was an easy decision for me, especially when KSI started mocking him for the ban, because I stick by him until Andrew Tate got banned. Now, KSI came out, said it was a joke and all that, yada 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 yada. But when Andrew Tate called him out, said the things he said, it was obvious for me that I'm watching a guy who makes me laugh. Nothing more, nothing less. He's essentially taking my time in exchange for letting me laugh. Is that a fair exchange? No, it's not. Because he's taking my time valuable, which I could use to learn skill, to further my goals, to further my purpose. But instead, I am locked to the screen, watching this guy where I can't learn anything, I can't improve. That's why I don't watch these people, you know. Just these mainstream guys, they don't give any real value. They won't help you. They will take your time, they'll take your attention, but they won't give you anything in return. Anything of value, at least. It's like a friendship. You have that friend group with people that make you laugh, but they don't do anything else. Those people are not your real friends. Those people are people you spend time with to make time go faster. The real people, the people you really spend time with, people that are true friends, you can talk openly with. It's more serious conversations. It's not that much entertainment. It's more value of information and knowledge and motivation. You know, I had one guy at my school. First I thought he was one of these guys that joked around, but I've gotten to know him better, and I realized that he's just like me. He wants to further his goal. He wants to become something in the future. He wants to earn money, and he works just as hard as me, which is surprising because, trust me, I work hard. Alright, he might not be working as hard, but he's working close enough that he will definitely succeed if he keeps on going this way. He's trying to become a football player, and he's about to get a shot within the biggest league, the biggest team in all of Sweden. Now, of course he won't be in the main team. However, in 2 years he will. When he's 18, he will be in that team. And he does not work as hard as me, which gives me even more proof that I'm working so hard that I will definitely become the greatest boxer of all time, pound for pound. So, you have to hang around people like this, and that's my point is with KSI and all of these mainstream YouTubers is that's just it. They're not open with you. They don't tell you the truth. They don't share their knowledge. They don't motivate you. They simply give you entertainment, make you laugh. They make time go quicker. And suddenly, you're 30 years old. You have no life and you have to pick up the pieces. My friend, just like Andrew Tate, he both entertains me at times. He motivates me at times. He gives me knowledge at times. He gives me information at times. He makes me better in every metric of human life, of my existence. Just as Andrew Tate. You have to observe these patterns, and you have to really look at the people who inspire you, the people that surround you, and ask yourself, are these people really furthering me as a person? Or are they keeping me stagnant without me realizing it? So I want you to just look around. Am I with this guy? Am I watching this guy because he's entertaining and that's it? Or am I watching him because he's entertaining and all the others? Knowledgeable, gives me knowledge, is motivational, inspires me, all of this. Is it A or B? Is it the red pill? Pardon me. Is it the red pill or is it the blue pill? Is he telling you the truth? Is he lying to you to keep you there? Think of these things. Observe. Always be aware of your surroundings. Not just for threats. Physical threats, that is. But for mental threats as well. So, just don't surround yourself with these low value people. And that's why it's called low value, because they give you one value. They don't give you multiple things. They give you one thing. Now that can be good at times if it's the right value. However, entertainment is not the right value. But back to Andrew Tate. The situation is disgusting. That's all I can say. There's nothing more to say. It's disgusting. And it tears me up that my idol, person I look up to, the people, because mind you, Tristan Tate is just as influential, not influential, but just as inspiring for me and knowledgeable as Andrew. He motivates me just the same way. Now, it tears me up that both of these people I look up to are currently sitting in jail. And on this stream, I vowed that if anything, the circumstances would happen to Tate, the Tates, the brothers, if something would happen to them where they were to die or pass away for uncertain reasons, I vowed that I will pick up the mantle. I will teach you all what I've been taught. And I'll help the youth, the men, the people that the high level, the upper ranks of society don't want to escape. I'll help them escape. I'll help them understand the matrix. I'll help them learn and improve and eventually start becoming higher level, getting into the higher echelons. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything more to say. I mean, I've laid out most of the points that I'm aware of about the case, accusations, and how they are false. There's not a lot to say. It's just vile. It's just disappointing that our world has gotten this far, because even in school, I'm the teachers. One of my friends brought Andrew Tate up. We're talking about, and but it was kind of obvious because she's she's a woman. She's a teacher. She doesn't look that good. She is kind of. She looks like she's sad. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. And she's one of my teachers, and they asked her about Andrew Tate, and she said that he was a typical nasty guy. That's what she said. Nasty guy. How can a man that has inspired so many be nasty? I don't get it. And it's funny because the teachers always talk about be critical of the information around you. Even I preach it on my channel. Be critical of the information that surrounds you. Yet the teachers don't even follow their own rules. They're like, have they? I don't even think they looked into him. They watched the small clips about him, judged him, and then moved on. Just like every other person. And that's why you can't really see a teacher as a role model, because a teacher is just you. Like almost anyone, any average person can become a teacher. Like the qualities you need, the level of intelligence you need to get in there is quite low. And I mean, if it was really that influential, that important, as in when I say important, that people value it to the point where it's almost a status as a master, as a teacher, a real teacher, then they would be paid a lot more than what they are. People always say teachers are underpaid, but I'd say that they are paid enough for the education they get. Because as I said, my teachers have faulties as well, just as any other person. They haven't been taught to become this master. They're a teacher. They're a normal school teacher. They know things. They know things they have to know. And the rest they don't know. It's like when you study for an exam. You study things you need. Forget about everything else. Test is over. Forget about the test. Now sure, you have more knowledge than the average person about that test. But you're still not 100% concrete about the knowledge. So they're just average people. They're a 9-to-5 job. It's the lowest echelon of a training figure, someone that trains you. So I don't know. I used to look up to my teachers, now I don't. I'm not talking about my current ones. I'm talking about the ones from my previous school and the previous school before that. You know, over time you start realizing that pardon me, you start realizing that teachers are just normal people. That's all they are. They're just like me. Sure, a rich guy, some millionaire on the other side of the planet is just like me as well. But not really. I mean, he has the mentality. He went through the hardships and had the toll to go through all of that, and has the right mentality, has a lot of knowledge about his subject to keep himself a millionaire. And he's not like me. I mean, I'm starting to become him. I'm learning to become him. But he's not like me. He's far better than me. Because he sacrificed his time to become better than me. And earn his status. Earn all of this money he has. Whilst the teacher, sure, they sacrificed time to study. But that's about it. They still go out drink. They still go out. They still watch TV. Still do all of these mundane things. They don't do these royalties, these privileges that rich people do. And so you start to realize that they're just average people, and they're people you can't really look up to because they're not where you want to be. So why should you watch them? And that's a valid point. Tate says this. Why should you be listening to someone talk about money when they don't even have a Lambo? I don't talk about money. I talk about the mental strength and the mental mindset you need to have to improve in any field. Not just money. Training. Studying. Anything. And I'm 100% sure it will work within money, but at the same time, I have no clue because I don't earn any money yet. So I can't tell you, but the moment I do, I'm certainly qualified. Qualified enough to tell you that you can at least earn $100 off of this mindset. But I genuinely believe you could become a millionaire with the things I teach. Because, in a sense, it's what I've learned from Andrew Tate. He's one of the idols that I looked up to within the financial spectrum. So, in a sense, it is quality information for making money. But yeah, that's why I don't look up to my teachers anymore. I realize that they're mediocre. They're average people. So their opinions doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I go to school every day. I respect my teachers enough to listen to them partially. And yeah, that's about it. Like, I'll forget about them when I'm done with school. I'll go on to live my own life. That's just how it is. The sooner you realize these things, the sooner you realize the people you have to look up to, not mainstream influencers, not teachers, not your parents. Well, that depends. If your parents are rich, you should probably listen to them. But if your parents are broke and try to keep you broke, tell you to get a 9-to-5 job, you should probably not listen to them as much as you would if they were not. Like, it doesn't matter how much money your parents really have. It's a matter of the mindset they have. They tell you you have to study, and punish you for not studying. I think that's a little naive. That's a little dumb. But at the same time, your financial situation might affect their lives. So, and if they don't know anything better, that might be what they say. But in any case, the ideal people to look up to is those who have status, real status. If you do that, you'll go far. That's why I support Tate. He has status. He's taught me to gain some status. I told you, I was a loser before. A real loser. I lived on the computer. I played games all day. That's what I did. I had no friends. Real friends, that is. And he took me from there to becoming a guy with the knowledge to spread on YouTube. He took me from there to a guy who has the confidence to go up to a girl, get her number, and get laid. He took me from a guy who had nothing to a guy who has the confidence now to be a leader, to lead others, to take charge. These are the things he's done for me. So, always remember, there's two sides to every coin. And in the middle is the truth. And you want to find the truth. Now the truth might be bent more to one of the sides. And if that's the case, you gotta find out where it is. Is it on the good side or the bad side? And I know the truth about Tate is the Tate's is on the right side. Because they've done too much good to be bad. And they're suffering consequences they shouldn't have to go through because they helped me. They helped others. I partially blame myself for the situation he is. Of course, he could have chose to not spread this knowledge, but because he did, I got here.